Hi, you guys, it is me, Gideon, and welcome to my studio. I have decided just to put the camera on and film what I'm doing because currently I am creating new collage papers that I can use in my new art journal that I have just created. And I'm planning to do a series based on composition, and I need a little bit more material to play with, as what is currently lying in my scrap box from recent projects is very mixed up, and I don't have enough of a particular look that I'm going for. And I also wanted to play and expand my creative mark making. And here in this current series that I'm playing with on my Gelli plate today, I have done some semantic writing on pages. This is just ordinary office copy paper. I like it because it's not too thick, and it is strong enough for me to throw a few things at it. And I just enjoyed making these marks. It almost looks like a language of some sorts. I personally like to call it my soul scribble, or my soul language, goddess language, whatever you want to call it. I just think it's beautiful, and this is unique to all of us. And really, it's just like handwriting, but you're not really trying to write words, and you're trying to use it in a very expressive manner. I like oriental orientation as well, writing from top to bottom. That just changes the effect, almost mimicking, Asian text. So it's really beautiful, and like I said, very personal. So I like to incorporate that in our new art journal. So I'm sticking to a color palette here. I'm using some, just neutrals and beiges, and some gray. The only bright color I have is this cerulean blue that I think will complement all these browns and bronzes. And what I'm trying to do is I'm using my plate to mix color on. I'm not really doing a monoprint per se. I'm just really allowing the papers just to touch the wet paint so that I can transfer bits of it in such a way, create a bit of a build-up and just an interesting background and texture that is interesting to look at. So if I tear sections of this for the collage, then beautiful little moments can be captured in the collage that will speak for itself. So I'm trying to sort of be mindful of a color palette. If I do a series of paper making, then I sort of limit my palette, otherwise everything gets too colorful and it can begin to look chaotic. And I really want the journal in the end to be a little bit more cohesive and tell a story of composition. So that doesn't mean that there can't be color changes. It's just on a particular page, it works best in your collage practice to keep things simple and to limit your palette. So I'm just playing here with, alcohol, water, inks, everything that I have really. I'm making marks, scratching on the plate, picking up some of the paint and then allowing it to build up on the plate is also great. And then when I feel that there's enough sort of gunkiness built up on my plate, then I will use a stronger paper and really to try to do a bigger pool where I take all the paint off the plate, and that creates some yummy textures and interesting collage elements that I can play with. So really, that is my only mission today, is just to play, to create texture, and to make it look like an old wall or an old manuscript or something like that. Give it an old world feel, like it came from a sacred manuscript somewhere. And just seeing what I can create in an abstract kind of way that really just allows me to play with color and effect and some interesting mark making. So if you want to try this, really it's not hard. Just use your Gelli plate. You can even use it paper to paper. It doesn't have to be on a Gelli plate, but I find the plate really is an excellent place that gives you a unique look to the way that the paint adheres to the page. It's a different effect than if you had to paint it on or just apply it with the palette knife directly. And in this way, it's also thinner so that the layers of paint is not so thick that when I put it in the collage, art journal later, that it becomes problematic to glue down. So these are all the reasons why I'm playing on the plate, and it sort of gives me a place to focus and then to transfer it to my papers. Here you'll see I will actually plaster two pages on top of each other and just create another sort of pool of paint that is interesting. So I decided to go back in and show you guys a little bit of semantic writing, and here I'm just using acrylic ink with a fine liner, and I'm just drawing it directly onto the plate, and then I will print that on a page. So I'm hoping you guys are going to join me in my new series based on composition. It's really a lot of fun. I want to teach myself a little bit more about composition, and what better way than to explore it on your own in your own art journal, and I invite you guys to come along. So starting in 2 weeks time, I'm really excited to begin my journey into composition in a brand new art journal that I've created myself. So next week I'll show you guys how you could create your own art journal if you are interested to play along. So I'm excited to invite everybody and to just let you know that my focus is going to be all about composition over the next coming few weeks. So I think there's at least 8 to 10 episodes that I'm planning, all focusing on composition, and I'm going to see in each episode how I transfer that to my page and explore that way of composing things on my page, and then in the end I can see what I like to use more of, and it also becomes a library for me to look back on and say, oh yes, do you remember this composition? Because you might not be into all of the methods right now, but maybe later you are reminded of it when you page back into your journal, and then you might be ready to try it. So remember to check that out, and I'll share with you guys a little bit more as I continue. So thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my episodes coming up. So I'm so excited to connect with you. Also check out the links in my description and join my Facebook creative community where we share with each other as we create together. So thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye bye for now.